firstly, put in the good work. Ya, bila aku cakap good work dekat sini, it's a kind of productive work. And then handling snafu, bila something terjadi, when you screw up something, macam mana nak handle benda tu, apa jadi masa tu, and macam mana nak handle stress. Kalau ada masa lebih, kita akan cakap pasal finding mentor and freelancing. So I'm gonna keep this talk short, 30 minutes hopefully, so we'll be done by 10:30 a.m. I will try to answer some of your questions kalau ada, but I think that would be limited lah for today. I'll try to keep the talk short. So a bit of background about me. I'm a full stack developer. Next month would be my 7 years of tech career. I started in 2016, if I'm not mistaken. I started working somewhere in section 13, or is it section 14 in PJ? It's called Hokenso. It's under Hitachi. Then I moved forward a lot just towards full stack development, either web or application development. And now, and my previous job, I've been a tech lead for about 3 years, handling and growing 7 people under the team, which we started from 2 people to 7 people. All right, so enough about me. Let's get to the actual content of the talk today. So expectations. So mostly bila korang start kerja, usually your first day or 2 weeks before you start, right? You must be excited, anxious, nervous. You don't know what to expect. You don't know what will happen. So here's what's going on. What will be going on during the first week. So the first week, you entered the company, they give you some sort of onboarding, either by HR or your team manager or your buddy. And they're gonna set up your profile, give you your laptop, and for the rest of the week, for that 7 weeks period, all you'll be doing is setting up your laptop, setting up your project setup, setting up your development environment. So for some company even, I've heard that it can take up to 2 weeks, because when you enter on the first day, no one really cares about you. You are invisible to them. So there is a way for you to be visible to everyone, but that needs to happen slowly. I think a bit boring lah, my talk. I'm gonna share my screen and tell me if you can't see my screen. All right, there we go. Okay, where was I? Second week, first week. So most people will have this rasa macam, oh, tak ada apa nak buat during the first week, but that's okay. That is part of the process. You can expect that. Share the screen. Can everyone see my shared screen? Let me know if that works. Okay, back to the story. So the first week, for the first week, that's all you'll be doing. You'll be meeting new people, you'll be setting up calls or meeting with your squads or team members or your higher ups. Usually it depends on the structure of the company. A smaller company, they have it. I mean, you're probably going to be meeting everyone if you're a small company. Medium-sized company, you'll be meeting with the key persons. Bigger company, it depends. Like me, I've had a group of new joiners meeting with CEO sometimes, but that really happens in my entire career. I've worked at, I think, 1, 2, 3, 4. I've worked at 5 companies before, and usually the highest I would meet is CTO. They usually CEOs don't usually care about the day-to-day operations of engineers. So that's the first week. So what I would like macam the new joiners to focus on the process. Walaupun rasa macam tak ada buat apa-apa kan, rasa macam kosong, just focus on the process, learn about how your company is structured. Untuk learn how the company is structured, kena categorize it by whether it be a small company, medium company, big company, because these 3 types of company, there are different strategies on how you want to grow along your career. Okay, and there's also a learning curve for new fresh grads or those who starting your career. There's a learning curve that you must expect for you to not cultivate the imposter syndrome mindset. Okay, so usually, all right, when you're just starting out, you're gonna feel like you have no value in the company. So here's what I noticed throughout my career. Okay, everyone, and I mean everyone, is either average or above average, and that's it. The only difference is how far or how fast people can reach above average, and after that it starts to plateau, because as you grow in the career, you also grow older, and I'm afraid that most people tend to shift their focus in their life when they reach an older phase. So this is something normal, as you'll also be shifting your career path at later stage in time. Like me personally, I want to be the very best in programming. Back then, I burned out my 20s just to learn, pick up all the skills that I needed. But then once I've reached a certain comfortable point, I stopped. I stopped doing all those and focus more on work-life balance. So yeah. So imposter syndrome, another thing that you shouldn't do is you shouldn't compare yourself to another person. You should only compare yourself to yourself that has passed. I mean, macam compare lah at a certain point in time. Let's say 1 year ago, how do you compare yourself from 1 year ago? The only time that's suitable for you to let orang lain jadi benchmarkan is when you want to set goals for yourself, or you say let's say, oh, this guy, he started his own business by 30 years old. He started by his business all on his own, tak ada orang lain, solopreneur. Instead of comparing your life to their life, set starting your own business, being a solopreneur as your goal. So that's what I'm going to talk about right now. Setting goals. This is the next point that I'm trying to tell you about expectations. So when you start your career, you have to set goals, because when you started fresh, there's basically nothing that you basically have no goals yet. You're basically still lost and all. You don't even know what's inside the club. So oh Bell, you don't even know what's inside the club. So you probably won't know how to set goals yet. So learn how to set goals and cultivate the culture of receiving feedback. Yes, Bell.
Oh, sorry. I just not inform about the screen is Minecraft.
Uh-huh.
Is that what you want to?
Yes.
Is that what you want to show?
That's what I want to show. Yes.
Screen. I
Yes.
think it's BT.
What?
No, the screen. I mean the
Kenapa?
screen that you shared.
Uh-huh.
Minecraft.
Yes. That's the intention
Oh,
to show
memang.
you Minecraft.
Oh, okay. Okay,
Yes.
okay.
It's either
Okay,
Minecraft
okay.
or Subway Surfer. So you guys can pick lah.
Okay, okay. I thought you wanted to share something else. Okay, okay.
No,
Oh,
no, no.
sorry, sorry. Okay.
All right. All right. Okay. And then another expectations, save your money. I've seen this happen a lot with amongst my friends. They get their first salary, fine. You want to cover everything back. Maybe you move from somewhere far. You had to borrow money for house deposit and stuff like that, and to pay it back. Sure, your first income you can probably just spend all of it, but save your money after that. Save your money because especially if you are someone who lives far away, macam you guys duduk dekat Sabah or Sarawak, flight ticket dah berapa dah. That's emergency fund that you need to have. Emergency fund tu sangat-sangat penting. When I was I think first year in career or second year in career, I didn't have enough emergency fund, so much that when there is an emergency family happening dekat my hometown, I couldn't afford the flight ticket. Tapi nasib baik I can apa nama? I can borrow from my friends. So save your money. Okay. The next one is you'd have to have a beginner's mindset when you enter a company, and this happens naturally. So bila masuk dalam suatu company, you have no bias at all. You have no prior information. You have fresh perspective. So that is an advantage that you should make use of. You should challenge yourself to find out how the product works, how the product is built, and how people interact with the product. So untuk programmer, biasalah kita explore semua code-code dia kan. And bila kita baru masuk, kita akan ada opinions about kerja-kerja yang dah dibuat. Kerja-kerja macam spaghetti code ke, kerja-kerja macam pattern dia boleh disusun lagi ke. But at the same time, you need to be aware that this is the accumulation of effort yang orang buat masa situasi itu. Kita tak tahu apa yang terjadi masa situasi bila diorang buat tu. Contoh spaghetti code, maybe diorang tak ada masa and tak cukup tangan nak handle deadline. So you have to be not to say careful, you have to have empathy when you giving feedback. You have to understand the context of why it happens. And usually people take this well, and orang probably not you to improve the code base. So you have fresh perspective. So make use of that. Use that to your advantage for you to challenge yourself, to kind of give them feedback and let them give that let there be a two-way kind of feedback. Yeah, try to give feedback in a good way instead of menghentam or mengkritik or menganjing. Aku selalu menganjing orang dulu. So akulah orang itu. Tapi bila when you move forward your career kan, yeah, you will be making the same kind of mistake, then you'll be put into the same position. So hopefully you don't do that. All right. So these are the kinds of expectations you akan dapat when you first join the company. So I'm going to tell you now how to exactly fit in a company. First, when you join a company, you need to find someone that you can trust. You need someone to have conversation, untuk berbincang ke apa ke, masalah ke, not to say nak mengumpat, tapi you have to find that someone that you can trust, you really trust, so that apa-apa masalah dekat dalam company, they also can help you walk through it, or at least listen. This is especially true for introverts. introverts, dorang ada susah sikit nak bawa orang masuk dalam circle dorang. So for introverts, you need to find someone you can trust. So that's the first thing. The other thing that the person can offer you is how to work your way through the company. Macam mana proses lain, macam EPF, apa gaji, salary review bila, performance review bila, ni manager siapa, ni manager apa. Usually organisation kadang-kadang dorang tak bagi pun organisation chart. So having some kind of buddy helps, you know. And then you also be needing to build good rapport with your manager and team members. This is very important as well. This is what office politics is about. I'm gonna bring you to the very basic meaning of office politics. Office politics is basically how you get what you want. And usually that involves some kind of diplomacy. And that's why you have to build good rapport with your manager and your team members. Kenapa? Let's say one day you ask for help, but the manager tak nak tolong you pun because kind of tak suka you sangat. Probably you've done something to cross him off. So that's the kind of office politics that's at the very basic level lah. That you yourself is influencing how people view you. Other things can involve macam requesting more manpower. Bila dia naik level of tier dalam career tu, macam jadi leadership ke apa, it gets even more important untuk kind of build a good rapport with everyone. Nak request manpower, request resource, semua tu bergantung kepada orang yang approve tu nanti. So yeah, build good rapport. And this one is another issue that I found with fresh grads. Usually, you all have to learn how to write an email. All right, it's quite simple actually. You just give a greetings. If you selalu communicate dengan orang tu, you can actually keep the email short and simple. Say what you want and mean what you say. And then just hit send. Kalau confused sangat, use ChatGPT and then tell ChatGPT untuk summarize benda tu balik. And then try to learn, take up resources yang lain untuk learn how to actually write a formal or a polite email. That's the basic thing that you need to do. Okay, so that's about blending in. About lunch or company dinners, I'm just gonna leave that one out. That's for you to find out naturally. Oh, wow, we have 6 minutes left. Damn, then we can't cover everything right now. Putting in the good work, that's the next topic that we have. But before that, does anyone have any question or anything that they want to share before I move on to the next topic? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Putting in the good work means being actively and consciously productive, essentially. As a fresh grad, as someone who just started to enter the workforce, you'll be needing to learn how you manage your tasks, and how to manage and how to stick to your deadlines. So I have a very specific way on how I do things. I have a system with my Apple Notes. I usually would list out all the tasks that I need to do today. And at the same time, I have manual pen and paper to take notes. And at the same time, I use Pomodoro technique to manage my time. So you need to find one that is best for you. So learn how to manage your time. And the next one would be you also have to be curious and explore how the products works are made. Programmers explore the codes, ask questions, get feedbacks on your work. So that's the kind of things that you need to focus on, and especially during your first year of work, focus on the process instead of the technical instead. Because usually where I find people when they just enter a company, they got lots of tickets. They're being assigned to kind of a support role where they just fix bugs every day. That's normal. That's very normal in a company. Sometimes they put you in a empty team and let you work on a new product that you have to start by yourself. It depends on the company. My experience with this was when I entered my first job, I was assigned to like a module where I have to fix every bugs that I found. And it's very tedious, very repetitive. But at the same time, I've tried to explore things outside of it. Betul aku kena scope to buat ticket support, tapi aku nampak ada masalah-masalah lain yang berlaku bila buat projek tu. For example, untuk build app tu sahaja kena tunggu 10 minit. Memang ada hot reload apa semua, tapi let's say your changes perlukan like full reload or hard reload. You need to stop the app and then recompile everything again. And then 10 minit tu sangat-sangat tedious. And then aku set up dia punya build time tu, set dia punya configuration such that build time tu is about 1 minute plus only. Because I found out dekat background, every time it compiles, it tries to download the same resources over and over again. And that makes everyone happy. Developers experience their efficiency goes up by a lot when I remove that. And that's one of the way I step out from my scope untuk learn something new. So try to see what other things you can do bila you're assigned to something. And then communication, collaboration, and visibility is also important for you when you start your career. You need to learn how to communicate to people. You need to learn how to collaborate. Usually, pair programming is the best kalau nak collaborate dengan orang. And then visibility. Okay, somehow dalam tech banyak betul introverts. So I'm gonna talk about visibility just because of that. So what does visibility means? So when you start in a new company kan, tak ada orang kisah pasal kau. Tak ada orang kisah pasal kau. You're practically invisible to them unless you say something. Let's say you've done a good work. Make sure people see that. People know that you're doing work, but they don't see that they are focusing on their own day-to-day stuff. Like your boss, they're busy with meetings, they're busy with catching up with deadlines, they're busy with handling other team members. So you have to be visible in the company. So how would you do that? First of all, communicate with the rest of the team member. Usually it happens in a group chat like Slack, WhatsApp ke, Telegram ke, whatever. When you do something that you feel like an accomplishment, make sure you mention that in the group chat. Like, contoh, hey team, I fixed these bugs. It costs admin to work for on this task for 7 minutes before, but I've cut it down to just 30 seconds. It has made their life much, much easier. And they will congratulate you and they'll say, well done. And then you'll get that visibility, and that's going to help during your performance review because you actually have black and white proof saying that you have impacted admin's efficiency. Take a screenshot of that and put it into your work journal. And that's what I'm going to talk about next. Your work journal. Okay? Dari first kau masuk company tu sampai kau keluar company tu, you must have a work journal. Whatever you do, letakkan dalam satu kolom, and then the next column, letakkan feedback, and then the next column tu, letakkan effort, and then the other column, your learnings during the process. So again, what you do, who does it impact to, how much time, how much effort you take, and your learning outcome. So when masa performance review, senang je nak listkan semua balik. Bawa je phone ataupun iPad ke kertas yang dah printed ke, just give it back to, just regurgitate semua info tu balik dekat your siapa-siapa yang reviewer tu lah, either your manager or CTO ke, depending on the company structure. Listkan satu-satu. I've done this, I've done that, I've done this, I've done that. And then if your performance review is good, then comes for the salary negotiation kan. Tapi salary negotiation won't be covered right now. I'll probably cover it next. Dah setengah jam lah. I'll take. I'm sorry guys. I'll take another 3 minutes to talk about how to handle screw ups. Is that good for everyone? Not good. Not good. Not good. Not good. Alamak. You guys say yes. Okay. Handling snafu. Okay. Shit's normal. All fucked up. That's basically what it means. Okay. Selalu kita salahkan intern kan kalau something broken dekat production. Kalau kat production je kita akan blame intern. Tak kira lah mana-mana company. Last time kita orang kuat gak blame intern. Sebab dia ambil code company, lepas tu letak dekat personal GitHub. Dah lah. CIMB punya code source. Macam mangang. So what happens when you screw up? Okay, I'm gonna tell you depending on the severity. So the highest severity is you will get fired. Kau akan kena buang kerja. So what kind of severity is that? If you langgar ethical code, somewhere in what you do, you somehow find a way to langgar your ethical code, whether it be technically or professionally. Contoh, you take the company's property as your own. You take the company's property as your own, and then you showcase it as your own. You instantly kena buang. Tak boleh bincang dah tu. Kau buat sesuatu macam langgar ethics code ataupun rule dalam company. Contoh, bully orang lain, sexual harassment, highly probably kena buang. Highly probably kena buang. Korang baru je start company, memang kena buang. HR pun tak ada, kena protect company tu juga. You do those kind of thing, memang kena let go lah. That's the highest severity. Other kinds of severity, leaking information to competitors, company corporate espionage, itu bukan setakat kena buang, kena saman pun ada kot. Okay, that's the highest severity. And then the next severity, that I know of, kau buat satu, kau buat bugs, lepas tu bugs tu boleh terlepas pergi production. Lepas bugs tu pergi dekat production, diorang jumpa sebelum semua orang balik rumah. Sebelum diorang balik rumah, diorang discover tu, diorang kena support benda tu pula. So let's say diorang discover tu 5:50 PM, semua orang belum balik lagi, tapi diorang kena kerja lebih sampai 11 malam just untuk support bugs tu. Okay, ni yang apa kau akan rasa. First kau akan nervous sebab tu bugs kau. Then kau akan rasa bersalah sebab kau yang buat benda tu. So in this case, stay calm. Stay calm, even though it's hard. Stay calm and focus on the problem and how it happened. Okay. Get your manager or someone you trust to help you out with that. Or if you can handle it yourself, inform everyone that this is your fault and that you will take care of it and that you can take care of it. Once you're done with the changes that you're making, ask someone else, someone you trust, someone that you know is a good code reviewer. Suruh dorang review ni. Suruh dorang review and then make sure go through the QA process. QA process, okay? Usually mungkin QA process ni happen 2 kali. First bila deploy to staging and then second bila deploy to production. Kalau macam tu memang kena tarik lah masa untuk semua orang. And then you say to everyone, sorry for the big mistakes. And then that's it. And then you said, oh, by the way, also say thank you everyone for all the support for this particular issue. And then that's it. That's it. Jangan fikir lebih, jangan fikir lain-lain. Balik. Try to relax yourself and go to sleep. And go to sleep. This kind of stuff is actually very normal. But yang tak normalnya is dragging everyone else untuk kerja extra time for this. So you have to appreciate everyone's effort, but at the same time, you have to remember that if any of them screwed up, you will also be dragged along. So it's actually pretty normal. Okay, so tak payah rasa bersalah sangat, tak payah rasa macam kau ni bodoh, tiba-tiba nak quit ke apa ke. Tak perlu. Semua tu tak perlu. It's just kerja. It's just work. Don't take work too seriously. And then what would happen after that? Okay, you would probably not get fired. This is actually a normal operation. If the company is mature, no one is going to scold you. If the company is toxic, dorang akan marah kau, grill kau sampai kau rasa sakit hati pula. Tapi you won't actually get fired. Untuk kau dipecat sebenarnya sangat susah. First, recruitment costs money. Second, that mistake you've made is actually an investment to the company. That you will learn more the more you make mistakes. So jangan risau if you think you make a big mistakes. Jangan overthinking benda yang mungkin takkan jadi. You nak kena buang kerja tu sangat susah. Like I said, yang higher severity tu tadi memang ada instant kena buang. Tapi untuk case macam ni, just learn from your mistakes, alright? Get a fresh perspective, learn, take this mistake as a lesson. Action items for in the future, write down apa yang kena buat the next time this thing happen, and then try to discuss it with other team members. Macam mana nak handle situasi ni kalau berlaku lagi. So take this as a learning lesson. Don't repeat it. You won't get fired. So it's actually not easy untuk kena buang. Which leads me to my next point. Korang start first year of career in tech. I'm going to assume you guys are fresh grads. Most of you are fresh grads out of uni. There are some people that are pivoting to this industry. I don't know if this would apply, but I'm focusing more on the fresh grads or interns, especially interns. Korang muda, umur around 20 plus, below 25 years old, 23, 24 years old and 25 years old. Mostly yang keluar dari university. You are very young. You can afford to make mistake. So make as much mistakes as you want. Sebab the more you make mistakes, the more you will learn. And that's the fastest way to learn actually. By making mistakes, by experimenting. purposely making mistake to see if something works or not. You know, experimenting is all about that. You either fail or succeed. You succeed, you learn. You fail, you also learn. You fail multiple times, you learn even more. So don't be afraid to make mistakes. You if even if you get fired, so what? You're still young. Just get another job. That simple. Unless it's your dream company, so you probably need to watch out for that. But my best advice to everyone is, yeah, fail often, fail, learn, repeat. So yeah, final point: how to manage stress. Okay, stress is a normal thing. It's a day-to-day thing. It's a very adult thing to do. First, you need to unlearn how you handle stress during university, because university dia punya spike lain kan. You have lecture, class, lecture, project, and then assignment. It's lain. Untuk kerja, you have to remember that kau masuk kerja Monday tu, Isnin masuk kerja pun dah kau stress sebab Monday kan. So it's going to be a daily thing. But remember, first, how do you manage stress? You need to find a way, your safe space, untuk keluarkan diri dari skop pekerjaan. Macam divide yourself, compartmentalize yourself dengan diri kau yang bekerja dengan diri kau dekat rumah. So let's say you like dekat rumah you like to play video games or jogging, main basikal. You do that. The main point of handling stress is that so the stress doesn't accumulate tinggi sampai dia jadi terlalu teruk. So kalau dia terlalu teruk, yeah, you need professional help dah tu. Or and then another way to handle stress. So let's say you overwork, banyak kerja on deadline, too much on your plate. You have to ask for help dekat tempat kerja. You have to tell your manager, boss, banyak sangat kerja aku ni. Aku tak boleh nak meet any of the deadline. Boleh tolong reprioritize? If your boss is actually a good kind of manager, then they will help you to reprioritize or maybe even extend your deadline. So that's one way for you to handle your stress at work. So be mindful that like I've said in my when I told you about all my backgrounds, I burned out throughout my 20s. Don't burn out during your first year. Burn out, do it slowly, because the faster you burn out, right, the easier you lose interest in your passion, especially if your passion is something like programming or you like doing DevOps. If you burned out, you don't want to touch that things, and sometimes it takes a long period of time until you recover. And this is going to mess how you learn or progress in the career. So don't take work seriously and take it slow, chill. It's your first year of career. You should enjoy as much as possible. Relax, you know. Don't take it too seriously. Yeah. So the final thing that I would like to talk on today was actually finding mentor. But I think that I'll just move that one to the either next week or next week, depending. Yeah. Thank you everyone for coming to my talk. I hope this has been helpful from everyone. Hopefully korang pun fresh grade mostly. But yeah. Anyone that wants to go on stage and ask me a few questions? Just 2 questions for today. Sebab masa dah over sangat, I'll only take 2 questions. Anyone? How to balance self-study? During your first year, it's not. It depends on your workload on day to day. Contoh if your work actually takes up 100% of your energy, 100% of energy, not time, 100% of your energy, you don't have much choice except to optimize what you do at work, so that contoh it only takes you about 70% or 50% of your energy, and then malam you can start to study. Like Bell said, weekend also works, but at the same time, if Monday to Friday you burn, memang dah kena exhausted, then weekend is actually your time to rest. So the first thing that you need to do is optimize how you work day to day. The more you optimize your work day to day, the more you have time for yourself after work and weekend. Like what I've experienced in my first job, aku kerja overtime every day. Sometimes sampai pukul 2 pagi, sometimes sampai 5 pagi. Weekend tu hanya untuk aku tidur sahaja. So there is no time to learn. Until at one point, the UAT bugs apa semua tu dah kurang sikit dia punya amount, okay, kurang sikit workload, and then I have time. And then remember the rule or the law of compounding effect. If you study at night for 2 hours every day, okay, every day during your weekdays, 2 days every day during your weekdays is 10 hours per week. 10 hours per week in a month, it's 40 hours. So you have studied for 40 hours in a month if you allocate 2 hours. If you allocate 1 hours, then it'll be 20 hours. Plus weekend, if you study about 4 hours, then it'll be even more lah. So remember to have consistency if you want to study by yourself. And then you also need to read. And when you read widely, not specifically, read widely. Why is this important? Before this, probably orang pernah share roadmap kan? So when you read widely, you are reading into a very broad topics that's probably going to shape your interests and your career path in the future. So let's say you've read okay, so let's say at the end of your first year, you've already read a lot of front end frameworks like Hero Reacts, Svelte, Vue.js, other meta frameworks, Next, Nux, apa semua tu. And then you've also read about backend. You've read about something about Ruby on Rails, Laravel, Node.js, Nest.js, all kind of web frameworks. You've also read about app development. You've read about productivity. You've read about leadership. You've read about product management, how to run a business. You've read all of this topic widely. At the end of your first year, you have a much clearer kind of future that you want to do. So let's say, oh, I think I'm in tune in product management instead of programming. Then do product management. Then you start to drill down towards product management. Yeah, that's actually, and that is actually the easiest one to do. And I'm obsessed actually with reading. I read 20 articles at least per day, even more when I was a junior developer. Untuk the first thing, aku masuk office, letak laptop apa semua, pergi toilet, cuci tangan, buat kopi. Bila balik dekat tempat duduk, aku buka artikel. My favorite place back then was Medium. Medium, Stack Overflow, Reddit. Kadang-kadang lah Reddit. So, aku akan buka banyak-banyak tab sampai 20 tab, sampai kadang-kadang bila aku buat tu hari-hari, sampai title tab tu sendiri pun aku dah tak boleh nampak dah. So aku just baca tutup, baca tutup, baca tutup, baca tutup, baca tutup, baca tutup for every day. And that's helped me to get a wider view on everything, on what I actually want to do. So I picked full stack development. All right. That's one question. I hope that answers your question, Little Giant 9. Next question. Anyone? No? No questions? All right. No more questions. Thank you, everyone, for coming. I know it's a Sunday, so I hope everyone have a motivated Monday tomorrow. We'll be doing this again. I hope this is helpful for everyone. I'm also doing resume review. No, it's not paid. I do it voluntarily. So if you guys have any resume that you want me to review, just send it to me through my DM. But in the meantime, I'm going to stay here for a while to see if you guys have any questions and I can help to answer. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for coming. This has been a good talk. Yeah. Sebenarnya berapa ramai yang fresh grad or yang baru masuk kerja? Aku nampak semua ni macam yang dah kerja je. Abbas ni ada kat sini. Bel ada kat sini juga. uh, 2 minggu masuk kerja. Okay, satu lagi tu tips untuk bila masuk kerja. Korang kena tahu dekat mana lunch murah, okay? Kena tahu dekat mana lunch murah. Hari-hari korang akan makan benda yang sama, minum benda yang sama untuk jimat duit. Kena tahu. Kalau aku time first year, aku kerja dekat area Digital Malls tu, depan tu Jaya 33. Sebelah Digital Mall tu ada tempat makan murah. Aku makan benda yang sama hari-hari, minum benda yang sama hari-hari. Aku duduk je tempat duduk. Uncle yang buat air tu dah ready dah teh o panas kurang manis kat depan aku. Aku tak order pun. Oh, so share lah mana-mana tempat murah dekat tempat kerja korang. Yes, food court tu. Betul. Admin confirm bawa tempat mahal-mahal. Dorang bawa pergi Chili's tapi nasib baik dorang pergi bayar. First time aku pergi Chili's adalah bila dorang bawa aku pergi makan, belanja, like company punya lunch, whatever. Ada yang dari Sabah Sarawak dekat sini, ada tak? Tak ada. Okay. Right. Thank you everyone. Thank you for the questions. 2 minggu lagi. I also curious lah, is everyone graduate from macam degree in IT or computer science, and from where? Uni Mas Gemilang. Cantik ah. Lily Eyes. Mas Gemilang. Yes, I am also from Unimas. FIT. 4 tahun. Nope, still trying to get into tech. Great. I've read your resume. Saya degree software engineering Uni KL. Just finished my intern rezeki dapat sambung with same company. All the best. Uni KL. Yeah, some of my friends went there. They are doing very well right now. I'm gonna go to the toilet. I'll come back. Yes.